Welcome to Learning Math in Simple English with Sergeant Hiromatsu. Today, we will be looking at max and min problems. For our first example, we want to find the maximum and minimum of the function y equals sine x plus cosine x, where x goes from 0 to 2 pi. At first glance, it seems like a difficult problem because sine x and cosine x get larger and smaller at different times, so it is hard to see when this function is at a maximum or a minimum. But if we combine the two functions into one sine function, it becomes much easier. Using our formula from the previous video, we can see that r equals the square root of 2. Cosine alpha equals 1 over the square root of 2, and sine alpha also equals 1 over the square root of 2, which means alpha is pi over 4. So now the problem becomes, what is the maximum and minimum of the function y equals square root of 2 sine x plus pi over 4? If we draw the graph of this function, it becomes obvious. This graph is y equals sine x stretched by a factor of square root of 2 in the y direction and shifted by negative pi over 4 in the x direction. Also, the domain is from 0 to 2 pi. So the maximum is square root of 2, where x equals pi over 4, and the minimum is negative square root of 2, where x equals 5 pi over 4. In example 2, we want to find the maximum and minimum of the function y equals 2 sine x minus 3 cosine x. Again, we use our formula from the previous video and get r equals the square root of 13, and cosine alpha equals 2 over the square root of 13, sine alpha equals negative 3 over the square root of 13, which means alpha is, well, we don't know. This isn't an angle that we know. So what should we do? We write it as y equals the square root of 13 times sine x plus alpha, where cosine alpha equals 2 over the square root of 13, and sine alpha equals negative 3 over the square root of 13. Since the maximum of sine x plus alpha is 1, and the minimum of sine x plus alpha is negative 1, we can see that the maximum of this function is square root of 13, and the minimum is negative square root of 13. We don't know what alpha is, so we cannot say at what values of x it takes a maximum and minimum. So this is the final answer. Thank you for watching.